Wisdom begins with the courage to question every belief structure and the willingness to sacrifice even our most sacred cows. Before I speak the words that follow, I want to be clear. Words are inadequate. They are symbols of symbols. What I will share is not an absolute view. Such things are not available to us here in this present third-dimensional density that the Gnostics call Malkut, Sephira on the Tree of Life. All perception in this reality is subjective. It is fluid, inconsistent, riddled with contradiction, shaped by the imprints of our survival. Each individual lives in their own constructed universe, believing their stance is true. This is the great deception. From it arises argument, division, and reactivity. The principles of non-reactive intelligence, like any other teaching, are not the ultimate truth. They are scaffolds, useful for dismantling deeper conditioning, but temporary. Even this scaffold must collapse, leaving only an empty cup or a hollow flute. What remains after the collapse is still subjective, yet it carries certain qualities. No more cherished opinions, compassion for unconscious sufferers, and consistent communion with the living current of life, and the threshold to what I call the realm of immortals. This introduction is simply a framing, a reminder that what I offer here in this narrative is a perspective, not a conclusion. Its purpose is to help us dismantle the structures that bind and trap us, so that something quieter, freer, and closer to the current may emerge. There is a strange echo that sometimes rises from within. It's not a thought, it's not a memory, but a knowing too deep for words. Words are only symbols of symbols. Therefore, they are twice removed from reality. Yet here, in this dense realm, which the Gnostics call Malkut, words are the vessels we have to point, to hint, to invite. It is the only way to communicate rapidly until we begin to reclaim our natural divine ability to use telepathy. So let me move carefully. In this density, there are no absolute views. To believe there are is insanity. What each of us calls truth is shaped by imprints, survival drives, and conditioned responses. These become mental structures so entrenched that each person mistakes their stance for reality as reality itself. From this division, reactivity is born. The first wisdom is to see these structures as temporary scaffolds, not as absolutes. Every philosophy, every system, every belief, every religion, even science itself, even the 10 principles of non-reactive intelligence, they can be useful, but only as supports while we loosen the deeper conditioning. They are not meant to be clung to. They must eventually fall away. When the scaffold collapses, what remains is not another belief, but a cup that has been emptied. In that emptiness, something quiet emerges. Compassion for the unconscious sufferers, a softer subjectivity, and a communion that cannot be argued or possessed. This communion has many names. For me, I call it the living current of life. It is the one reliability I have found. Systems rise and decay, beliefs harden and crumble, opinions are thrown about like seeds, but the current flows. Again and again, I have learned to return to it. In the Essene tradition as I received it, this communion was not only an idea, but a tactile practice. The ancient brotherhood taught that in the early days of growth, wheatgrass holds more life force than it needs. It has enough to share, a surplus. In quiet reverence, with body purified and mind softened, one could place their hands upon the living green, breathe, receive, and absorb. Not to consume, not to own, not to exploit, but to commune. This is not about wheatgrass alone. It is about the principle. Life offers itself in ways beyond our rigidity. When we step past dogma, when we refuse to be trapped in argument, we touch the current directly. So let this be the arc. See the trap of rigid structures. Use a scaffold wisely, but always lightly, and let every system collapse when its work is done, and return to that which does not change, the current that flows beyond all names and forms. Dear friends, may every structure that has bound us release us when its lesson is finished. May our opinions dissolve into compassion. and may we abide in communion with the infinite, the living current of life. May every rigid belief soften into openness. May every scaffold that has served its purpose gently fall away. May compassion rise where division once ruled, and may each heart listening now find its way into communion with the infinite and dwell in the living current of life. May peace be with you. This is called the mirror practice. Number 1, pause and breathe. Whenever harsh words or rigid opinions come at you, you choose to pause before reacting by feeling your breath enter and leave, as if polishing the mirror inside of you. Number 2, name the movement. Quietly say to yourself, this is a structure moving in them. This is not me. By naming it, you separate their imprint from your essence. Number 3, feel your space. Imagine a clear space between you and the words. Like a mirror's surface, you do not absorb. You simply reflect. Let their stance be seen without you feeling that you have to take it in. Number 4, return to lightness. Say inwardly, I hold this lightly. Feel your body soften. Shoulders, jaw, hands. Lightness is a physical state as much as a mental one. Number 5, offer the reflection. So if you have to respond to someone, do so as a mirror. Reflect what was said without judgment. For example, I hear you feel strongly about this. By saying that, you're not attacking, you're only reflecting. Number 6, release the hook. Afterwards, release the moment like mist in the sunlight. And remember, a mirror does not carry yesterday's reflections.